So let's talk about the games that's coming up on Thursday here. We have Tunisia facing Mali in Group F, Mauritania facing Gambia in Group F, and we have Equatorial Guinea coming up against Cote d'Ivoire. This will be a very, very tricky game to predict. So Tunisia versus Mali. This is a huge affair. This one is good. This is a good one. Both teams with a lot of quality. Mali, I don't think are at their strongest, as I did mention in the preview live stream. I really don't think they're at the strongest. They could have, been a lot stronger, but they're still looking pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? Mali are in the final round of World Cup qualifiers. Also, Tunisia are as well. And I think the two teams could actually meet each other in the final round. So who knows? This might just be a dress rehearsal for something like that. So look, in terms of head-to-head, Tunisia versus Mali, how does the teams fare when they come up against each other, you may ask? Well, Tunisia has 6 wins versus Mali, 1 draw, and 4 losses. So we know we're more than likely to get a result here. At the African Cup of Nations, they have met twice in the past. 1994 with Mali picking up a 2-0 win, and they met in 2019 where the game ended in a 1-1 draw. So not a bad record against Tunisia there for Mali. And look, Tunisia has not been very, very convincing lately, if you ask me. I think they were in the same group as Equatorial Guinea during the World Cup qualifiers, and they lost the game against Equatorial Guinea, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just trying to go off the top here with that one. And I think I'm right with that one though. But Tunisia definitely not been as convincing as they usually are. You see what I'm saying? But with Robbie Kazri, Slitty, Skiri still around. I think they're missing Sassy this time around. And they're still missing a few key players. But someone did mention Hannibal Medri of Manchester United. But I was going to rebuttal and say, why mention this youngster when he's not even playing for Manchester United? You know what I mean? These are the players that should be getting opportunities for Man United, but they find themselves playing for the academy team still. You see what I mean? So this is a big game, and this might be the biggest game in the group for both these teams. And both of the teams are favorites to come through from this one. And you think you have Mauritania in your group, you have Gambia in your group. You fancy your chances of beating those teams, right? But this is where the uncertainty comes in for both Mali and Tunisia. It's a hard one to call. It's definitely a hard one to call. I don't really see anything much about any big COVID outbreaks or anything for both teams. So I'm just looking into that one right about now. Definitely, want to stay up to date with that one. So let me just make sure. I don't miss anything here. All right. So, okay. All right. So, all right. Don't see anything in terms of any COVID outbreak. I think if there was any, it would have definitely been in the headlines for both the teams. If you have any more insight on that, please let me know. But that could also be a determining factor. COVID along with injuries. Guys, this one is a very, very difficult one to call. I don't even want to call this one. I don't. I did pick Tunisia to top the group, however. And I'm going to go for them to beat Mali. I'm going to say a narrow 1-0 victory in this game over Mali. I know it's a tough call. It's a very, very tough call. But I'm going to go for them to beat Mali here. Tunisia 1, Mali 0 would be my prediction. I just think, with their experience, their know-how at the tournament and everything, and the fact that they're a team that most people sleep on. They would come up from behind and they would just sneak up and get the victory here. Mali, not a team to take lightly. Not a team to take lightly at all. Just wanna put that one out there. Not a team to take lightly. But as I mentioned, I thought they could have actually been a bit stronger. You're gonna see the likes of Yves Bissouma, Amadou Haidara, Diade Sama Sekou. You're going to have the Adama Traores, Moussa Genepo. The team has quality. But this Tunisian team, we should never, ever underestimate. 1-0 to Tunisia, in my opinion. But it's going to be a grind. It's going to be a grind. But I fancy the Eagles of Carthage here. So that's my prediction for this game. Let me know yours. I'm going to keep it moving. And let's move on. Let's definitely move on. Let's talk about the next game coming up in Group F here. Let's talk about that game. Let me actually locate that game first. So Tunisia 1, Mali 0 in my opinion. Mauritania versus Gambia. This one is a tough one to predict because I'm not going to act like if these teams, I'm an expert on these teams because I'm not. I'm really not. These teams I know the least about these teams. But I'm going to predict. I'm going to give my thoughts on the game. I'm going to give my prediction on the game. I've seen more of Mauritania than I have of Gambia. This one is going to be, I think, a level playing field here. Gambia versus Mauritania. Have these teams ever met in the past? Yeah, they have. And they have on quite a bit of occasions, right? 8 wins for Gambia over Mauritania. 7 draws, 5 losses. They've been playing each other since 1979. And they have met on the African Cup of Nations before. If might be qualifying. And some of these African Cup of Nations updates in terms of the meetings have been qualifying as well. So let's just make that one clear. But it's still part of the AFCON, right? At the main tournament, I do have to go deeper in terms of if they met each other. But they have met in qualifiers before. And they also met in the preliminary round of the AFCON back in 1990. So twice in 1990 and twice in 2016, where Mauritania picked up a 2-1 win. Gambia and Mauritania played to a 0-0 draw the last time they did meet. So very rich history between the two teams. And they have met a lot in a tournament called the Amilcar Cabral Cup. Few international friendlies and a few qualifiers, playoffs for the AFCON as well. So, look, as I mentioned, very unknown. I'm going to play it safe. Yeah, it's always the easiest thing to play it safe, right? Yeah, but I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to go for a draw with this game. As we have been doing, checking and see if there's any available updates in terms of any COVID breakouts within both teams. And we've had one article so far written on this match. And let me see if we're seeing anything. So Gambia is coming in the tournament in better form than Mauritania. And let me see. I think Gambia does have the more, standout players in terms of Moussa Barrow, who does play for Bologna, and company. So, look, Coley comes to mind as well. Coley, definitely a name I've seen before. For Mauritania, pretty much an unknown entity, but very, very, very gritty team. I'm gonna have to play it safe here and say a draw. 1-1 draw or 0-0 draw between these teams. It's always easy to play it safe, right, Dom? I know. But I haven't seen anything in terms of any COVID outbreak, but I may be missing something. But if I am, please let me know in the chat. So what I'm also going to do, I'm going to do a quick AFCON search to see if there's any breaking news. Any breaking news in terms of any team and COVID outbreaks or anything like that. So, yeah, I haven't seen anything right now. Definitely haven't seen anything in terms of, yeah. So, I've seen an article here where Burkina Faso, Bertrand Traoré, alleged COVID-19 testing scandal ahead of the African Cup of Nations opener. Burkina Faso have sent a formal letter to CAF after they returned 5 positive COVID tests ahead of Sunday's opener. So they're saying it's a conspiracy there. Yeah, conspiracy. We could be seeing things like that, where I saw an article yesterday where Klopp said that Liverpool's COVID cases were actually false positives, and they missed the Carabao Cup game against Arsenal because of a COVID outbreak, and that could have been, avoided if it wasn't false positives and if it was actually negatives, right? So, yeah, it could happen. But I don't see any updates in terms of any big COVID outbreaks that's going to affect any team that we have spoken about so far. So, yeah, Mauritania, Gambia. I know I haven't clicked on this one, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw for this game. Equatorial Guinea versus Côte d'Ivoire coming up on Thursday. Well, that's actually tomorrow. What am I saying? Thursday. Tomorrow. Why do I keep saying Thursday? Well, it's early. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. Give me a break. Give me a freaking break, man. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a break. I need a break. You know what I'm saying? And this is not a Kit Kat commercial as well. I just need a break, man, because I'm not perfect. But Ivory Coast, what a star-studded team. Talk about Maxwell Cornet. You talk about Zaha. Talk about Frank Kessié, Seridia. This team is stacked up. And the list goes on. This team is stacked up, man. And nothing should get in the way of them beating Equatorial Guinea. Not even coronavirus. Not even that. You see what I'm saying? They should, even if they have a coronavirus setback, they should still have enough. You see what I'm saying? It seems as if, I'm looking at a preview here as well, and it seems as if Gobu could be available again. I'm pretty sure I saw that Gobu is suspended for the tournament because of a doping ban that he received. So don't know if everyone who's doing previews are actually looking at the updates, but let me just do a quick search on Mr. Gobu again, because that is very, very important if, he misses the tournament. The last time I did check is Sylvain Gobuho would miss the tournament because of a doping ban. And that was 1 week ago. And yeah, I don't know why he is still in the thing, but let me do a quick search again. And let me get a translation for this in French. And Patrice Baumel very upset against FIFA on the Gobu case. So Gobu will not be available. So you can't take everything you read seriously. Just want to put that out there, because I'm looking at an article here from Sports Mole, and whoever wrote this article didn't know. You see what I'm saying? And it goes back to the point where not everybody's perfect. You can't always get them right. So that's just an oversight. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. But Ivory Coast, as I mentioned, stacked up Serge Aurier, Jean-Michel Seri, Max Gradel. You have Sebastian Halle, if you hear me. Nicolas Pepe. Listen, team is stacked up. And I'm not going to go further. I'm really not going to go further into this, because I think it would be kind of disrespectful to Ivory Coast, right? But Ivory Coast might actually be disrespectful to themselves and go on and draw this game. Because Equatorial Guinea definitely are not pushovers, right? Spanish-speaking nation, not pushovers. A lot of Spain-based players would be involved against a star-studded Ivorian team. It's gonna be a grind. But I do think that the Ivory Coast will come out on top. Against Equatorial Guinea, they have played 2 matches previously. They won 1 and drew 1. And they have met at the African Cup of Nations once back in 2012, where they won the game 3-0. And that was actually in the quarterfinal of that tournament. 3-0 win for the Ivorians. So they do have a great record against Equatorial Guinea, even though they only played twice. And I'm going to go for them to get the better of the Equatorial Guinea team. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. I don't think it would be a totally polished performance. But nevertheless, I think they will pick up a victory. 2-1. Ivory Coast, who should get very deep in this tournament with a team like this. Listen, you don't get to at least the quarterfinal with this team, manager deserves to get sacked. Just want to put it out there. It might sound a bit harsh, but you got to get far with this team, man. This team is like a dream team. It's a dream team, and you gotta do well with it. But as we know, for Ivory Coast, they have been very, very lackluster lately, missing out on a final round of World Cup qualifiers, and they have been underachieving. Definitely. So I'm going for them to win the game 2-1 though. Can't take Equatorial Guinea lightly. They do have Emilio Ensu in their team, and he has been around some top clubs in his career, and they would look for him for quality. So 2-1 to Ivory Coast, Gambia, Mauritania to draw, and Tunisia to narrowly beat Mali on my predictions for tomorrow's game, to add to the predictions that I'm making for the games that's coming up very, very, very soon.